both know it's over. We need to let it go. I came home late, you were not there. I didn't care. I think we both know it's over. We need to let it go. We need to let it go. We need to let it go. Both know it's over. We need to let it go. I can't believe we at a point where we don't like each other's company when you're not around. The burdens off my shoulders. We tried, but it won't get revived. And I got too much life to live. I gave all I can give. Meanwhile, wait, I wait. Wait, who will be first to say let me go? I came home late, you were not there. I didn't care. I think we both know it's over. We need to let it go. We need to let it go. We need to let it go. Both know it's over. We need to let it go. I came home late, you were not there. I didn't care. I think we both know it's over. We need to let it go. I saw you, you saw me. I felt you, you felt me. And two became one. Two became one. But the foundation was weak, and when it cracked, it couldn't be fixed. Then you bring up bullshit that don't even concern you. Fight. Fighting again. It's for the birds.
Progressives only. Baby Grand Records.
You were not there. I didn't care. I think we both know it's over. We need to let it go. We need to let it go. We need to let it go. Both know it's over. We need to let it
Like
go.
Frankie Beverly and Maze, but keep the memory of days. We would do it in every room and every single way. Once we did it 15 times in a single day. Having a wifey was way more fun than the single say. Get a room with a single stay, mingle, play around. But when it's time for the laying down, we really laid it down. We would fuck, watch a movie, smoke a blunt, lay it brown, weighted down by the loneliness. Please stay around, baby down, we so affectionate. I had to hold my own cause we had 2 kids, and you held me down cause you had 2 kicks. And who would thunk by now that we have 2 cribs? Not cause we ballin', because we falling apart. You know the truth is I know I ain't followed the blueprint. Treated you like you stupid, but without your support I couldn't be doing this music. It was a long time ago that we was both struck by Cupid, but miscommunication to store the love movement.
Show's over. Exit. Right. So good night. It's over. You won. It's over. I'm good. It's over. It's over. We need to let it go. I came home late, you were not there. I didn't care. I think we both know it's over. We need to let it go.
Let it go, let it go, let it go. Yeah, give me 30 seconds, y'all. And 1 second.
I came home late, you were not there. I didn't care. I think we both know it's over. We need to let it go.
Ain't that track code? That's High Tech. Featuring Talib Kweli. Right, that shit banging to me. That's one of my favorite hip hop songs. What's up, Goshen Music Design? Goshen Music Design Group, what's happening with you? What's up, Armchair Philosopher? So yeah. If you can hear me good, hit that number 1, Goshen Music and Armchair. so I don't waste my time. I want to make sure I'm heard well. All right, what's up, Sloan? Thank you. Armchair, what's up? Thank you. So, people know that Chief X has been going in on Afrocentrics. Um, I've been going in on people teaching revisionist history. I've been going on people who we call Egyptomaniacs. Egyptomaniacs have been teaching about Egypt and neglecting to teach anything about West Central Africa. There's been an imbalance in the conscious community since day one. There's been an imbalance since day one to fuck over Black Americans and their true history. Not only, well, a lot of it has been by Black Americans. I call it revisionist history. I call it mythical history. That mythical history is taught by Afrocentrics. Now, I used to call myself an Afrocentric, and I realized I was calling myself an Afrocentric erroneously. Because a member of the Amenwa squad, brother named Sungeti, a while back, if he's still a member, I'm not sure, told me I wasn't an Afrocentric when I was claiming that I was an Afrocentric. He said, you don't follow the Afrocentric method of research. You don't sell it, you don't follow the, what did he say? The Afrocentric methodology of research. I'm like, huh? I thought research methodology was research methodology, I said. Now, there's something called an Afrocentric form of research methodology. So, great research methodology is different, I guess. I mean, I'm confused here. So, I was like, well, what is an Afrocentric to you? And he got the name and names of people who were Afrocentrics and the way they teach, the things they teach about, and the way they research and who they research from. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm an individual. I guess I'm not an Afrocentric. I'm an individual who is pro-Black. So when I say I'm pro-Black, that doesn't mean I'm saying I'm racist. I'm not a racist. I'm not a rabid racist like a lot of people you guys follow. I believe in Black power, which only means empowering Black people, empowering our own, empowering self. So I learned the game a long time ago. That's why I'm at where I'm at in life. And everyone's goals and all these niggas who's talking shit to me and about me is trying to be like me and accomplish things like me. They told me when I came into the movement, do some international business with Africa. They told me, try to be self-employed so you can do your thing and be free and things like that. And I don't have a problem with the people with a job, but I am self-employed and have been self-employed for a long time, making it happen and free. So I don't like when people say, let's get liberated, let's get free, because you're trying to tell me I'm a slave, and I'm not no damn slave. I'm a free man, and I can go where I want, when I want to. I got a passport. I'm liberated just as much as any other person on earth. If I have white, Mexican, Indian, Chinese neighbors, I can do exactly what the fuck they can do. If they liberated, I'm liberated. So I don't have this victim mentality and this slave mind. I'm empowering myself and hope to leave something to my family That's Black power. I do community work. I have real businesses and LLCs. I don't beat nobody out of money. I don't owe not one person any money. And I do more business than most people. They want to be like me. Let's not get things twisted. They're trying to obtain what Chief X is trying to obtain, is to be financially free enough to work for yourself and be comfortable in life and be able to support your children and your family. My son's in college playing football. Whenever he asks for money, I got you, son. Never said no. And it helps him on his way. So our duty is to help each other. I'm sorry. Our duty is to take care of self and your family first, the first nation, your family. Now, let me get back to this Dr. Ben issue. All year long, I've been saying I'm going to remodel the conscious community because we're on the wrong track. Right? And a lot of the information that we've gotten from, let me go back, because I was talking about Afrocentrics. I realized I wasn't an Afrocentric. I'm not a person who's with group thought. Group think, they call it. Group think is a group of people who all think and believe the same way, and they hold each other down in that thinking and in their concepts and ideology, and they're scared to go outside of the box that they're in because they don't want to upset people that's in the box with them. They don't want to seem like an outsider. They don't want to be a free thinker and think for self, so they remain amongst the groupthink ideology and can't get out of it because they don't want to be called an outsider, different, or you tripping, or whatever else. I'm not into groupthink. I'm an independent thinker and an individual. That's why I'm not with any cliques or groups. When I go live and I do live streams, I can go on live and do live streams by myself. I don't need to tag a bunch of help and 10 other niggas to help me get my point across. I stand on my own and I get my points across, and my points are factual and true. I've never come on here teaching misinformation or lies or pseudo shit. I'm a science guy. Would you say Jesus priced the video not playing for you? All right, it probably must be your equipment. I think everyone else can hear me well. Right, so I labeled this Dr. Ben discussion and drama because since the beginning of the year, I've been saying I'm remodeling the conscious community and we need to change and we're on the wrong fucking track. And today, we should be science-based. So a lot of the historians, hello, Letitia Green, how you doing with your little cute self? So a lot of times today, we still push and promote the elders that we consider elders, that some people, not me, consider master teachers. We still push their information, although it may be outdated. A lot of the information was spit and spewed before the genome was mapped. Now the genome is mapped and we're more science-based. Things are different and we know different now. So a lot of times, even people make excuses for the elders and say that's what they knew at that time. No, a lot of times they were lying, flat out lying. Yeah, so the scientific method, I'm not tripping on no damn Afrocentric method of research. I'm with the scientific method. And science is the vaccine for stupidity. Science is the vaccine for gullibility. Science is the vaccine for naivety. Bottom line, when you're scientifically sound and literate, it is hard for some fool to just talk any old shit and get over on you because you know better already. Now, I've been saying Dr. Ben is a cult leader since the beginning of the year. Now, I know it's not like a cult as in an established cult. Like, sometimes people say it's an unwritten word. Like, he's an unwritten, a cult leader in an unwritten kind of way. Because everybody followed his teachings and believed his teachings. Now, I like to also add, your elders is not my elders. Who you think is a master teacher is not who I think is a master teacher. We're different because I'm an individual and I don't do the group think. My elders is my daddy and my granddaddy in real life. You guys can have your cyber elders and cyber master teachers if you want. But in real life, my daddy and my granddaddy is not my master teachers, are my elders. My daddy, who I watch get up every day and go to work the graveyard shift at the post office and never failed for 50 years. My daddy, who I'm looking at on the wall, I'm looking at a plaque on the wall growing up from a young child, that my daddy didn't miss a day of work in 7 years. He didn't call out sick or take a vacation in 7 years. I couldn't do that 1 year. Every year I'm calling out sick when I had a job, at least somewhere. My daddy didn't call out sick in 7 years, and he got this award that I grew up looking at on my wall. My daddy was a working man. I watched my daddy walk out that door at 9:30 every night, like clockwork and religious. And my mama walk him to the door. They smooch, and he go off to work religiously, and raised 4 children, me and my siblings, and took care of my mom till I was 15 when they divorced. My daddy is my example of an elder and a hard-working man. My daddy's retired now after 50 years from the post office, sitting back, collected all kind of 401k insurance. He gets a pension. He gets all this money, and he's set, retired. He gets 100% because he did 50 years. That's my elder and my example of a working man. Your elders are not my elders. I'm talking real life. My granddaddy, who retired from Northrop Aerospace Industry as an instructor, also owned a security guard company, and he did security for a church. Also, he was a bricklayer and did bricklaying. He was a master mason, an operative master mason. He was a real life bricklayer and bricklayed all throughout Compton and Carson, and everybody knows my granddaddy. He's a legend. Bought apartment building complexes and owned a home. They retired, sold the home in Carson, Compton area, sold the apartment complex, and moved to Vegas and lived great and bought a house cash. Those are my elders that I look up to, who has taught me how to be a hard-working man. I've never been out of a job. I left home. I'm sorry. My first job was at McDonald's at 15. At 15, in them days, we had to get our parents to sign a work release thing so we can work at 15 because we wasn't 16. So we had jobs at 15 back in the day. And I ain't been out of work yet. I left home, graduated high school at 17. Went to the Navy at 17. I'm in boot camp running around with grown-ass men at 17. I didn't turn 18 until the end of December. I've never been without work or a job in my life. And when I left home to go to the military at 17, I've never been back. Times I had it hard in my life and I was doing bad, I still stayed on my own. One time I stayed in a hotel for a whole year, but I still paid my hotel and stayed on my own and made it on my own like a man. My granddaddy and my daddy was my elders. So that's what my point I'm trying to make. So your elders is not my elders. Your master teachers is not my master teachers. My elders were honest, hardworking men. Now, what you say, DeMarcus Mack? What was my rate in the Navy? I was in OS, which was an operations specialist. After boot camp, I went to A school in Dam Neck, Virginia, for operations specialist. It's in the operations department on the Navy ship. Right? It's considered a good job if you're in the Navy. I wasn't on the deck laboring and mooring ships and shit. I was up there next to the captain. I did good on my test. So, since the beginning of the year, I've been saying Dr. Ben is a cult leader. And he's wrong, and he's a little deceitful. I began to realize after a while. So, hey, Egyptologist 7, how you doing? So, what had happened was, let me just say this so you can understand. Dr. Ben's legacy, I'm an African American or Black American. I'm fine with either terminology. Black American or African American. I'm fine with those terms. Okay? I descend from West Central Africans. My current history is in America as a Black American, and I descend from West Central Africans. That's my distant heritage. Here's Dr. Ben's legacy for me and for y'all as African Americans. Dr. Ben taught Black Americans North African history. Say what, Chief? Let's just really think about this. Let's think about this. Dr. Ben's legacy is teaching North African history. Not your history, not West Central African history, but another people's history called North Africans or Egyptians. A history that had nothing to do with us as Black Americans or descendants of West Central Africans. He's teaching a history of a people who have genetic affinities to the Near East, the Levant, Turkey, North Africa, Caucasus. And that's not Black Americans' history. It's just not. I look up to scholars like Skip Gates, Henry Louis Gates, who has done no wrong but is hated by a conscious community or Afrocentric scholars. Why is he hated? He's a credentialed man with an actual PhD who's put out some of the best documentaries I've ever seen on the history of Black Americans. If you didn't see The Black Church documentary on PBS, which was a 4-part series that came out this year, 2021, you cheated yourself. Dr. Ben does not compare in any way to a PhD like Skip Gates, Henry Louis Gates, who has the best credentials out of any African-American scholar I've ever seen in my entire life. And you got the audacity to push someone who lied about their education on me in 2021. See, people minimizing Dr. Ben's lies. Dr. Ben had no degree. No degrees. Especially in the field of Egyptology, you didn't have a degree. We're going to go over that. Bet, stay with me. He lied about 3 different colleges. See, we're not going to minimize him because people made the excuse that Dr. Ben lied so he can get a job. Straight 100% bullshit. Dr. Ben was lying years and years before applying for a job at the college. So that's a moot point. This guy, Brother Ankh from the Amun-Ra Squad, is making this narrative, this false-ass narrative that he lied because it was hard times in the 50s and 60s and 70s and stuff. And he had to lie in order to get a job teaching. Straight 100% bullshit. He was lying years before applying for those jobs. So Ankh is wrong. Wrong. He lied about 3 to 4 different colleges. Not just one lie. I got a degree here. He lied about having a bachelor's. He lied about having a master's. He lied about having a PhD. He lied about going to college in Brazil. He lied about going to college in Spain. He lied about going to college in Puerto Rico. Not only did he lie about his education, he lied about where he was from. He wasn't from Ethiopia. Wasn't born there. His father was not Ethiopian. He never said his mother was Afro-Puerto Rican. He said Puerto Rican. And we know goddamn well Dr. Ben is not no biracial. Nappy is all hell get out. Dr. Ben is from West Central Africa, descendant, just like me. And his people got off a slave ship just like mine. But he didn't want to identify with you niggas. What kind of a man would lie about his education, lie about where he's from, lie about his parents? Everything we know about Dr. Ben, he lied about, not just about his education. He lied about his entire life. So don't minimize his lies. And then on top of minimizing his lies, you want to say he lied in order to get a job because it was tough in the 60s and shit. 100% bullshit. They had plenty of educated Black men and women teaching at colleges and getting an education, Black colleges, HBCUs all over the place. All over the place. Let me see what people are talking about so far. What's up, JPTV? DeMarcus Matt. Hey, Nathan, yeah, you see, I do have, yeah, by the way, next Friday, I will be on Pocket Watching with JT, Real Accountants React. Now, he's a real one. He's a real accountant. He's a real financial advisor and has his degrees, and we'll show you. So, yeah, I'll be on this Friday coming up. Yeah, this Friday coming up, I'll be on Pocket Watching with JT as his guest. His channel's growing. I suggest people subscribe to Pocket Watching with JT. Oh, and the Friday after that, I will be interviewing this PhD. He's a molecular biologist. Um, Debunk the Funk with Dr. Wilson. If y'all don't know who Dr. Wilson is, he has a YouTube channel called Debunk the Funk with Dr. Wilson. He's a microbiologist, and we will be talking about the vaccine. We will be talking about um, health and nutrition. We will be talking about a lot of Dr. Sebi's claims. So, me and my brother named Unbiased Research. That's his channel, Unbiased Research. Both of us will be conducting an interview because Unbiased Research knows a little more about vaccines than I do. So he knows the proper question to ask, and we're just gonna all three of us gonna get it in together. Would you say Peter Truth Unc was embarrassing himself last night? Yeah, he was. And actually, he's been embarrassing the squad. A lot of the squad members don't even want to claim to be a Amon Ra squad member no more because of Ak and his behavior and unable to have an adult conversation with people. Yeah, so I posted this video that I'm going to play right now last night, and people seem to. I know when I post a video, the next day I'm going to see some live streams discussion about something that Chief X posted or said. And like clockwork, it happened, right? So I posted this video last night on my page, and people seemed to take issue with it. They didn't say it was a lie, it was wrong. They just take issue with it because Dr. Ben is their cult leader, right? And let me just give you my opinion real quick before I play this video. Dr. Ben was teaching about ancient Egypt at a time that nobody else was. So it was new and it was exciting. It trapped a lot of people into it, right? And we began to steal another people's history. We began to steal North Africans' history, and claim it as our own. And it's all wrong. So Dr. Ben was a major propagator of Black Egypt teaching. And he knew a lot of the stuff he was wrong because he's back and forth to Egypt. He's dealing with Egyptologists in Egypt. I don't know. Oh, by the way, people said he's teaching at this college for that long. Let me clear that up. He taught at Cornell. He was a part-time teacher, meaning he was not getting no health benefits as a full-time university scholar teacher. He was a part-time adjunct professor, meaning they may call you in to give a lecture on a specific topic maybe once every 2 months or something. It's not like you're going in to teach a curriculum every day of the week like a full-time college professor would do. Let's be clear on that. He was a part-time adjunct professor at Cornell, and he got there by lying. He wasn't a full-time. He didn't have any benefits. He didn't retire with benefits or a pension as a teacher. Okay? He went in to give a lecture to students every now and then on a specific topic or subject. He wasn't like teaching a full-blown curriculum and a full-time teacher. Let's dispel that. No, Dr. Clark is not a liar. I wouldn't say Dr. Clark is a liar. Dr. Clark was probably more honest than a lot of them, although he had a lot of shit wrong. But he was. I've never went in on Dr. Clark, but I do think he lost a lot of discussions he was in. Dr. Clark and Dr. Ben are great storytellers. You know what I mean? That's like with Dr. Ben, we got caught up in his storytelling and his humor. But as I don't even want to call him an Egyptologist. I'll call him somebody who studies and traveled to Egypt and studied about it. But when you really compare what Dr. Ben is talking to other Egyptologists, he pales in comparison. He more tells story and entertains the audience. You know what I mean? and will break basic stuff about Egypt down. Not anything deep. He couldn't read hieroglyphs. You know what I mean? So, you know, you have Egyptologists today who are black in the community who teach way better and know way more than he did at that time, because we've stood on their shoulders and advanced the information. But as far as in hindsight, when I listen to him, it's not anything deep. It's a lot of storytelling and cool stories and shit we laugh at and humor and shit like that. So we get caught up in entertainment. You know, man, we get caught up in entertainment. Yeah, somebody made a video to me today about because I claimed Mary Lefkowitz beat Dr. Brent Ben in their discussion and debate. It wasn't really between them two, but this is just the narrative that the conscious community runs, that Dr. Clark beat these people in the debate and stuff and that. So I just say the same narrative backwards. He didn't. He was off topic. He sounded good. He was insulting. The moderator was insulting. The whole audience was insulting. It was a total bias discussion between some Greek classical scholars and Dr. Ben. And I mean, the whole audience was like considered the conscious community. The moderator was a conscious community. The whole fucking thing was all biased. So this fake ass narrative that he beat the brakes off Mary Lefkowitz been running, and he that's the one. He made that statement. I don't only debate my equals, all others I teach. Oh, people went crazy like that. I mean, that has nothing to do with a debate or winning a debate. You're just saying something humorous. You know what I mean? So let me play this video by Egyptologist 7. I stole this from her. And I downloaded and I posted because it's just in line with what I've been saying the last year. So let's go ahead and watch this. Let me share my screen. All right. And let me see if this pops up. Bam, it popped up. So let's listen for a second.
By the name of Hunefer, Hunefer. He wrote a papyrus. By the name of Hunefer, Hunefer. He wrote a papyrus. It's known as the Papyrus of Hunefer, the paper of Hunefer. He said, we came from the beginning of the Nile, where God happy dwells, at the foothill of the mountain of the moon.
Now pause. I paused it. So everyone spits this bullshit that the Egyptians came from the south. That's total bullshit in my opinion, and from what I've known so far. Narmer came from south of Lower Egypt, or what you call Northern Egypt. He came from Thinis, which is in the middle between between Northern Egypt, the coastline in Nubia. Thinis is in the middle. He came from there. So he came from south of Northern Egypt, but not south as in from out of Sudan or out of the Black Land. So that statement of the origins of the Egyptians is laying some groundwork for some mythical history and some false history of Egyptians coming from the south, as if they were sub-Saharan Africans, and that's false as hell. I'm sorry. There's no record. Oops, hold on, y'all.
Lil Meech, welcome to Vlad TV.
What's cracking, bro?
There is no record of Dr. Ben attending any of those schools. There's no record of any degrees. So my point is, like, if you guys caught me in all these lies, you would tell me I'm not credible. You would tell me I'm foul and full of shit. Any man, he would say the same thing about. Why does this one man get a pass? Can we be real for a second? If I lied to you about where I'm from, my parents, my education, just everything about me, then I'm simply a fucking liar. This is not rocket science. And I can't trust nothing else you really say. I need to find me someone who is an honorable man to listen and learn from. My daddy and my grandpa were honorable men, hardworking men. Those are my examples, and those are my examples of an elder. So I'm sorry if from what I know and what I grew up with, knowing about responsible, hardworking, honest men, I'm sorry if I feel that this man was deceitful. I'm not making this up. This is simply the truth. Someone said I should debate Sarasun Seti. Sarasun Seti is scared to death of me. It will never, ever mention my name. He knows exactly where I'm coming from, and he won't dare touch me. I've exposed him several times. I'm not even going to go there today. Sarasun Seti is an entertainer who does picture shows. We call it lookership, not scholarship. He does picture shows and talks to his young, naive, gullible audience about the picture and what it means and how this looks like that and this looks like that, you see, and everybody, oh yeah, he proved something. Stupid ass niggas. Stupid. They love entertainment and hate scholarship. I wouldn't even really, you know what I mean? I would waste my time. But Seti, I would crush him because he can't prove shit he say. All he can do is show you a picture and say it looks similar to this, doesn't it? Then he'll talk and give you his opinion. He will never put up no scholarship. Pictures and memes are not scholarship. Niggas is picture prone. Picture prone and shit. Like, you know, I didn't even post this video, but I made a video a couple of nights ago. I haven't even posted it. It's just sitting in my phone. And I found this Egyptian kids with some youths. I landed on their Facebook page. And I was just going through all these Egyptian youngsters' pictures and shit. Didn't see any black people in the area, but I realized they have a lot of flat-nosed Egyptians, right? Modern day Egyptians, a lot of flat-nosed modern day Egyptians. And I was just looking at all these kids, right? And I said, if I did a stone carving of half these kids' face, who was clearly Egyptian and straight hair, if I did a stone carving of their face and head, Black Americans would say those are some Black Africans. Just because of the flat nose. And they had cheekbones and shit. You cannot tell the race of a people looking at a stone carving. It is impossible. You cannot tell race by looking at a stone carving. It is impossible. We are not the only flat-nosed people on Earth right now and or back then. All in Mesoamerica, flat noses. Would you see JPTV? I just seen a comment. JPTV said I didn't see any previous comments. Thomas Sowell is the GOAT. You ain't lying. I kind of found out about Thomas Sowell about. I've seen him before, but 3 years ago, I started listening to Thomas Sowell, and for a whole month, I didn't listen to nothing but Thomas Sowell, and this cat changed my thinking. Thomas Sowell is the GOAT, and I said, no wonder why this scholarly man, this economist, why nobody knows him in the Black community. They've kept him away from us, especially liberals. They kept this brilliant man, Thomas Sowell, away from us. So now people are gonna probably start researching Thomas Sowell and listening to him. So so once I start hearing Thomas Sowell and what's the other economist's name? His name is Walter Williams, not the conscious Walter Williams in the community, but his other economist named Walter Williams. I started listening to these men, and I said to myself, damn, economists are the brightest people in the world. I said, I need to listen to more economists because the economist is like a hybrid. This is my opinion, how I couch it. An economist is like a historical scholar and a finance person all wrapped up in one because they study history and they study the economies of history. They study finances. They study culture. They do a lot of statistics between cultures and the economies of cultures and what worked and did. I said the economists are the most brilliant scholars on earth. And Thomas Sowell is an economist. He don't give a fuck about your feelings. I mean, like I always say, niggas lie, but math don't lie. Niggas will lie, math don't lie. So Thomas Sowell is economist, man. the numbers, the math. Fuck what you talk about. It's the numbers. And he breaks down how the welfare state caused a lot of problems. The liberal welfare state, and he just goes in. But anyway, someone said ecologist. Did I say ecologist? If I did, it's a slip of the tongue. I mean economist. Economist. Yeah. So y'all should start listening to Thomas Sowell. Back to Dr. Ben. .504 top level. I'm still looking for your El Camino, Chief. I think you may be talking about a story I told when I used to have an El Camino when I was in the Navy, and how I got kidnapped and jacked in the El Camino. Oh man, that was a crazy story. Yeah, Demarcus Mack said, I don't know why people dislike Thomas Sowell. He got a real brilliant mind. Even Yvette Carnell, Antonia Moore, and their followers don't like him. Yeah, because Yvette, see, I disagree with Thomas Sowell on one issue, and that's the reparations issue. But even though I like someone and follow someone, doesn't mean I 100% agree with everything they're saying. Thomas Sowell is not for reparations. We disagree on that. But everything else, I pretty much agree with him on. But he has his reasons why he doesn't agree with reparations, and that's his reasoning. But yeah, because he doesn't kick this liberal victimhood ideology that the liberals do, and the Democrats have kept him away. They've even kept him away from political banter. You know, you may find him on fringe news channels and things like that. But in these times, you won't see Thomas Sowell on CNN or MSNBC or channels like that. He's just too real with it, you know. Yeah, so like, you know, here's the thing. People in the conscious community hate credentialed people. And they just absolutely love the uncredentialed people. For some strange fucking reason. I know the reason, but people still don't hear me when I tell you the reason. It's like people will bash an MD. Oh, that MD don't know what he's talking about. He's with Big Pharma. They trying to get our money. They trying to kill you. So they push aside the professionals. Get these credentialed people out the way. Move these credentialed people out the way. Let's talk bad about the people with credentials. Fuck Skip Gates Lewis Jr. We don't care if he has a PhD. He's a coon and shit. You know, dumb shit. You know, you know what I mean? Get these credentials out the way because we want you for ourselves. That's what it's all about. So I can remove these MDs and these actual credentialed nutritionists out the way, and you know, all these biologists, you know, all these people who have degrees in epidemiology and immunology, and move them out the way. We want you to ourselves. So here come Dr. Sebi's and the Layla Africas and shit, man, your brother Polites and all these people with no fucking credentials, not even a fucking bachelor's degree. Here come they in your face, and here the conscious community. Yeah, Dr. Sebi, yeah. Fuck you, MD. We like Sebi. We want entertainment. He's telling us that good shit. You know what I mean? Conscious community has always hated professionals. They've always bad-mouthed people with credentials. They'll tell you they're part of the establishment. I remember one time I said on Facebook, I was like, the conscious community needs to be more like these sororities and fraternities, these college sororities and fraternities. They're like, what? What? Chief, what? People just didn't understand. They just hate credentials. I said, these sorors and these fraternities are actually out here networking. They're actually out here putting in real work. They're actually raising fundings and helping out with scholarships and kids and shit. I think a lot more black folks should pledge in these sorors and fraternities so they can be part of networking communities. So they can be part of being pro education, get that degree, get that accomplishment. You know what I mean? Conscious community hating on all this good shit. Hating on sorors, hating on fraternity brothers, hating on all these brothers and sisters getting their degrees and all this old shit. And they prefer these niggas who's pontificating and talking shit on YouTube. They like these niggas on social media, like Polite and these entertainers and fake ass Dr. Ali Muhammad's and, all these old people talking this old dumb anti-science, anti-vaccine shit. You know what I mean? 99% of every epidemiologist on earth say the vaccine's great. And these people got MDs. And here y'all is believing the least educated people over the most educated people. This shit is fucking backwards. Y'all got this shit fucking backwards. Here you is listening to Polite and Rizza Islam, who never took a fucking science class. You listening to the Rizza Islam tell you about immune system. And this guy right here is a molecular biologist, and you don't want to hear him tell you about the immune system? Like, what the fuck is wrong with the conscious community? How did they side with the dummies and dismiss the educated? Like, this shit is boggling. People in here talking about Sarah Suit and SETI when they got actual kids in college with degrees in history and shit. Like this is how confused we are. I tell people at the beginning, I said, y'all need to stop. Just stop. You do not have to listen to these same 10 men that people say follow. Follow Dr. Men, that's and such. These same 10 motherfuckers. And there's 45 million black folk in this world. All these black kids, all these other Asian, whatever the fuck they is, race don't even matter with me when it comes to truth. All these scholars in college, and you want to listen to these same 10 men talking the same old bullshit for decades. Every university has their own YouTube channel talking about every subject you can think of. Wait a minute, I just realized I got 60 people listening to me right now. Hold on a second. Every university, right? Let me just put this in this chat real quick. Feel free to cash app your brother. I don't beg or ask for cash apps too much. I might just mention it one time, and if you do, fine. If you don't, see, I don't even care. If you like button it, up like it or down like it. You can hit the down like button or the like button. I don't give a goddamn. I'm different. It's all algorithm shit. Usually when I say that, people hit that dislike button. Hit the like button, y'all. It's okay. It is okay to hit the like button. It is free. Now I forgot my point I was making. Richard T., I think you're confusing what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't listen to someone who doesn't have a degree. That's not what I'm saying. There are plenty of people out here with no credentials who's teaching great shit, and you should listen to them. Here's the thing. They're getting their information from a qualified person that does have a degree. That's the difference. They source a person who is qualified, and then they bring that information back to you. So, like, if I was to speak about vaccines or DNA science, I'm getting the information from an expert in the field, and then I'm bringing it back to you. I'm not claiming to be the expert. You get what I'm saying? I'm not the expert. I'm not the scholar. I just like scholarly things. And I'll get the information from a scholar and then parlay it to you. So I'm not saying don't listen to nobody because they don't have a degree, but you don't choose to study under someone who is, just never been to college talking about astrophysics rather than listen to what's the brother's name? Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is a PhD in astrophysics. Why would you listen to Brother Sanchez talk about flat Earth? You see what I'm saying? Over Neil deGrasse Tyson, who has a PhD in astrophysics. You see what I'm saying? Neil deGrasse Tyson, the doctor, Brother Sanchez, the flat earther. And half the conscious community would choose Brother Sanchez. This is how fucking up. This is what the fuck I'm talking about. So I posted this video that I played a little minute ago about Dr. Ben and not having these qualifications and lying about 4 different colleges, lying about his entire life, not just his education. And no, he didn't lie about his education just to get a job. He had been lying about his education years and years before even applying for a job, Brother Ankh. So stop miseducating Black people and lying to Black people on purpose to save face. You can't save face over here. Chief X don't tell no lies. So what else would a person lie about? What else would they miseducate you about if they lie about everything in their entire life? So this is why I can't take his word as any law or as any authority, and I have to remove him from the equation. Dr. Ben has to be removed from the equation of teaching truth to our people because we've caught him in many multiple lies and unnecessary lies, and it has something to do with your character. Let's stop playing. If I told that many lies, you guys would say I have bad character. Everyone. No one is beyond scrutiny. Nobody is beyond critique. And I'm sorry that you looked up to him forever. But we're at a time now where we're trying to teach correct history, and I had to come for him. I had to come for your teacher in order to reach you. Yep. Richard T said this country was built on savagery and by savages. Empowered Esquire made a statement earlier about somebody who said something similar to what Richard T is saying. Okay, they were saying that they it's a setup for R. Kelly and they were talking about these different people who raped or molested or what have you, not specifically R. Kelly. And then you'll have a lot of Black people blaming white folk for dirt Black people do, right? This blame the white man thing. So people are like, well, Einstein and what's the guy's name? As I say Einstein, Epstein and Harvey Weinstein and all these other people can maybe get off or not get in trouble. It's the law is different for them and crying and this and that. So what she said was, it makes no sense for black people. What did she say? It's a bad argument to try to excuse the black people for rape or molestation just because someone else didn't get caught up or charged or convicted of rape or molestation. What are we doing when we make these excuses? Are you saying, so since it's a couple of whites got off, we should be getting off on rape and molestation? Like, no, nobody should be getting off. And if some couple people did get off, shit happens, it's court. But everybody that's getting charged with rape or molestation in general is going to go to jail, whether they're white or black. You can pull up some fringe outlying cases and shit like that, I get you. But if I've worked at Edelman's Court, children's court, it don't matter your color, whether you're white, Asian, black, Mexican, whatever. If you get charged for rape, if someone is making an accusation against you, you're going to get investigated and you're going to go to fucking prison, whether you're white, black, Mexican, or whatever. Cut the bullshit. Yeah, somebody said the whole world was a savage. People big up Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was a savage. Put him back in there. Mansa Musa on his route to Egypt went across North Africa closer to the Mediterranean Sea and the coastline and made it to Egypt. Had some say 50,000 black slaves, sub-Saharan African slaves. Mansa Musa was doing business and kikiing with North Africans, with Berbers, Arabs, and Egyptians. That's who he was kikiing with. He was an Islamized Muslim. Savage. Mansa Musa, savage. Slave trading ass Mansa Musa. Yep. We need to put his correct history up there also. But people only big up him because he was black. And they want somebody in black history to just really look up to. Oh, he was the richest man in the world. He was black. Yeah, Mansa Musa. Fuck Mansa Musa. Slave trading bastard. He didn't give a fuck about sub-Saharan Africans. Shit. Shit. Yes, I don't need 10 niggas to make my points. I'm here alone. That's them other cats who need 5, 10 people to make their points and shit and fight me. They got to have a team to come against me. Little old me. I got these cats making live streams trying to expose me. One dude got a live stream for at least 4 hours. It might still be going on talking about Chief X. Chief X said Mary Lefkowitz beat Dr. John Clark in a debate. She did, in my opinion. Get over it. So now you got to make a video trying to expose me as if I said something way out and crazy. That's my motherfucking opinion because I'm a grown-ass man. Yeah, John Henry Clark was all over the damn place. He was being insulting. He was entertaining, all off topic and shit. Mary Lefkowitz is a Greek classical scholar. That was what she was leaning on. And she was defending Greco-Roman history. The Greeks, in Romans, in order to come into Egypt and turn it over politically to them, they had to be on their P's and Q's before that happened. So she's trying to tell you that no, Greece was not just influenced by Egypt like that. They had their own philosophy and understanding and wisdom and technology. They didn't just get it from Egypt. That was what she was talking about. Because Afrocentrics at that time were also claiming that the ancient Greeks were black. Why is y'all playing dumb over there on Jehudi Mayat's channel? You know damn well what Mary Lefkowitz was trying to say. At that time, just like Sarah Sutanseti does right now in 2021, he'll put up pictures and act like the ancient Greeks were black. No, they were not black people. And Mary Lefkowitz was defending that also. Did y'all forget? She was right in everything she said. But y'all didn't know better because the whole audience was conscious people. The moderator and one or two on the panel. She was in enemy territory. So in y'all mind, you thought since the whole audience was with her and the whole audience was biased, the moderator was biased, in your mind, you thought that John Henry Clark was putting in work on her. Nope. You just got influenced and was gullible and naive and was listening to the audience and the moderator. Be biased. You are not the ancient Greeks. The ancient Greeks were not black. The Egyptians were not black. The Nubians were black. That's why when you pull up black pharaohs, only one dynasty comes up. That's the 25th dynasty. They don't call no other dynasty the black pharaohs except the 25th dynasty. Why is that? Because that was the only Nubian dynasty. That was the dynasty that the Nubians took over politically and ran Egypt for almost 100 years out of 3,000 years. Just one little 100 years. Academia, the world of academia, do not call any other dynasty the black pharaohs or the black dynasty except the 25th. And everyone agrees with that. Why? Because they weren't black dynasties. A lot of y'all been looking at Nubian artwork in Egypt and thinking that Nubian artwork is Egyptians. You've been fooled by people like Dr. Ben. You looking at Nubian artwork and thinking it's Egyptian artwork. You looking at pictures of pitch black Anubis, pitch black Nefertari, pitch black Osiris, the Lord of the Perfect Black. And you got these people teaching you that they're pitch black because they're black people. No, just regeneration or death is what that pitch black means. They didn't show you the other pictures of Nefertari when she looked pale white. They might got 8 pictures of Nefertari and they want to cherry pick the one that's pitch black and tell you that means that she was black. Nope. What happened to the other 7 pictures? And why you didn't teach that pitch blackness means death or regeneration or fertility in ancient Egypt. It had nothing to do with skin color. Dr. Ben simply lied about his whole life, about his education, and I'm not lying. He did. You can be in your feelings about it. But when I tell y'all that I'm going to start pushing credentialed people in this community, that's exactly what I mean. That's why I will be live with the microbiologist next Friday on my channel. Sick of all you fake ass scholars. Miseducating people. Sick of y'all hate for credentialed people. Y'all hate for educated people. Y'all hate for real doctors and PhDs and MDs and throwing these charlatans in our face instead. I'm sick of it. That's why this shit has been remodeled, and I had to go to the top. I got to get your master teachers and let you know that they're not really masters as you think. My elders is my daddy and my grandpa in real life, not cyber life. This right here is some cyber life BS. My granddaddy and my daddy made an impression on my mind, and it's the reason why I have never been out of work since I was 15 years old, and I have work ethic. This is real life shit. I have real work ethic. From the elders in my life, I learned from. Your elders are not my elders. Before I leave, I just want to see if anybody got any questions about in this chat. Yeah, and I just wanted to clear that up because niggas was going live today talking that bullshit. Niggas is upset about Dr. Ben right now, and you just gonna have to fucking eat it. You gotta suck it up. Now here go Richard T. I got Trump nuts in my mouth, and I keep bringing up Biden. Let me clear this up. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm a conservative. And I have conservative values just like my Bible Belt ancestors in the South. You know, like grandma and grandpa in the South and the Bible Belt, I have those values. Like my values are, I wouldn't vote for a man marrying a man. That's a liberal Democrat value that they vote for. So I'm not voting for Trump or Biden. I vote my values in what I feel. Like someone made a video today that I was going at Cardi B and big up and Candace Owens. Hell yeah. I said, would you want your daughter to be like Candace Owens, intelligent, educated, or would you want your daughter to be with this hoisms? I said, would you let Cardi B babysit your 9-year-old daughter, or would you rather have Candace Owens babysit your 9-year-old daughter? I mean, I did a survey, had people shook. Everybody said Candace Owens. And this was at the time that Biden had Cardi B as a representative for black folk, right? Remember? That's why we was talking about that. So let me give you some context to it. You think I would want my little 8, 9-year-old daughter to be babysitted by Cardi B and shit, and they end up in there twerking and going on and all this hoisms and this bad bitch look and all? And nah. Candace Owens is a classy lady. A lot of people may disagree with her. I agree with her that fatherhood needs to come back into the homes. I agree with her about the welfare state and how it ruined black families. That's why nobody wanted to debate me who would be better, Biden or Trump. But it originally wasn't about the both of them. It was about the policies, the values that they were talking about. If y'all preferred Cardi B and was like, go ahead and Cardi B, no, I was for Candace. Because Candace was right about Cardi B. Whether you dislike Candace or not, she was right about Cardi B. I was not taking Cardi B's side over Candace. I like professional women. I like a little more quality woman. That's just me. So no, I wouldn't vote for a party who's voting for men to marry men. That's just me and my values. Like it's not even about Trump. Fuck Trump. I wouldn't care if the president was an axe murderer. Whatever the fuck he did, I'm still voting for my values. I don't vote for personalities. I vote for principles. If me and my family and me and mine and my subgroup of people, Black Americans, was doing better under certain administrations than they was this administration, I'm voting for the administration that they was doing better under. That's just me. It has nothing to do with Trump per se. It could be another conservative president. I've changed. I'm not liberal like I thought no more. I'm just not. And that election season, this whole election season, changed the way I think about a lot of shit. That's just called growth. I'm not a sheep. I realized that CNN, MSNBC was lying like they never lied before. I realized big tech was lying in big tech, which means like Facebook, Instagram, Google. All these people were liberal and Democrats and on the Biden side, MSNBC, CNN. So it was a whole media conglomerate bashing Trump, lying on Trump, and nobody knew the truth because they couldn't see through it. Yeah, so I just have conservative values. It's not about Trump. But he wasn't an accident. Yeah. So, I'm for gun rights. Yeah, that's more of a conservative thing. Like in California, man, I can't even like look. I keep a pistol on me. In California, this is illegal to do because these Democrats don't want me to be able to protect my life and property if something go down. They prefer I do what? Call them first. Call the police. We don't care if a man is coming at you with an axe and a knife trying to kill you, Chief X. Do not shoot him and save your life. Call the police and wait for the police. And we hope your 51-year-old ass is in shape and can run for 10 minutes until we get there. But if you shoot him, you may be charged for murder, Chief X, because you're not supposed to conceal and carry. So my independent thinking ass said, oh man, these Democrats got control over my life, whether I live or die. We can't conceal and carry if we're upstanding citizens. No, man. I like what conservatives is talking about, man. They gun friendly. You know what I mean? So I vote my values. It had nothing to do with Trump, really. You said, Chief X, you need a strobe light, one of those old 70s type joint. But if you can see in my background, I got that beware of pickpockets and loose women. That's an old saying back in the day. And next to that is an Ali Frazier. They're both like 10 art Ali Frazier fight advertisement, but you can't see it that good. It's kind of far back. See, like, let's just get for an example. Biden chose Cardi B to represent Black America. Trump was with what's the rapper dude name? Kanye West, a businessman. You see the difference? Businessman, stripper. You see the difference? You see why I was with the conservative? What you say, New University TV? Chief X, you are now corrected. Kemet means black skinned people of the black land, Egypt, Africa. Why do you spell Egypt, Egipt? But anyway, you're wrong about that. Kemet means the black land. It means the black soot. It has nothing to do with the people. Kemet don't mean black skinned people. It means black land, and they're talking about the soot. Lies y'all like to keep up. See? Yeah, so when they say Kemet means black people, no, it has nothing to do with people. Had to do with the geography. Well, but we've been cleared that up, and I think you know that already, though. Who said that? New University TV. That was a debate some years ago we were having, and people were having, and they've been clarified that. Where you been? People were trying to in the early days say it meant black people, but that was a bunch of bullshit. New University. All you got to do is go to. You can go to Brother Wujawa's page. He teach Meternetter in hieroglyphs. He's been broke that down. Yeah, the entire Amin Ra squad, we all agree with that. Even though we beefing, but we all agree with that. Everyone knows that by now. I'm not sure why you're still lost on that. All right, y'all. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to go in on Dr. Ben and why people mad and people live streaming talking about. See, people act like Chief X ain't got no clout, right? But everybody and their mama crying about that video Black Egypt debunked. Everybody and their mama crying about all these posts I make, and they doing live streams about my posts. I had a Black Egypt debunked discussion a couple weeks ago. And as soon as I finished, somebody put my same title up, and they went in to debunk my live stream. And their live stream ended up being 25 hours long about little old Chief X and his live stream. These cats went 25 hours talking about little old Chief X. Boy, I got some power like a motherfucker. I had folks up with sleepless nights and shit. They couldn't get no sleep. They was pulling their hair out. Oh my God, Chief X killing us. How can we combat him? Oh shit, Chief X is killing it. You know what I mean? 2 people today going live talking about Chief X's streams and shit. But they act like I ain't got no effect or no clout. Yeah. See, I don't have no big following. I don't have a bunch of subscribers. But one thing you do got to know is those main people, these main people who think they're scholars, these main conscious community people, or people in the conscious, oh, they see my shit. Yep, they see my shit for sure. The average everyday Joe Blow may not see it, but you conscious community, so-called elites, all see my shit every day. Matter of fact, you get my notifications, all of them, as soon as they pop up. Let me stop fucking with y'all. Lex broken. You're smashing Ox Pyramid sneaker sales. I'll be mad too. Yeah, it's all about the money. They got to keep y'all trapped in Egypt when y'all need to be in West Central Africa. Let's just be real. Let's just be real for a second, family. We descend from West Central Africans. We should know about that history. We should be proud of it. And we should let go of trying to steal other people's histories. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with studying anybody's history. There's nothing wrong with studying Egypt. There's nothing wrong with learning about Medu Neter, hieroglyphs. There's nothing wrong with learning all that. Matter of fact, I suggest people do learn about all these cultures, all these histories, Medu Neter and all of that's good to know. Just don't claim it as you. That's all I'm saying. It's good to study Southeast Asians history. It's good to study Pacific Islanders history. All that is great to do, and everyone should do it. But once you get to claiming these histories and peoples as you, is when you fuck up and become disrespectful. I'm out, y'all.